My mate, eh, you made a permanent home in my head. You moving like a goddess, come my way, my way, my way. Your hips on the move, only a real one can do what you do. I caught a body, but you was the shooter. Damn, shot me down one time. Now you wanna hug me down.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara.
I'm LaWanda.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Ron.
And today we are back to discuss Twenties. This is the season finale, season 2. And this one was titled, How Do You Feel? So if you guys hang tight, we'll be right back with you. We are back. Like I said, we're talking 20s. This is episode 10, the last one of this season. So I feel like they left us on a cliffhanger because it seems like this is a big turning point for Hattie. Stuff is going down in her life, and it seems like, you know, she had such a playful and cheerful nature. She's always like the happy-go-lucky kind of jokey joke type of person. But this episode, we did not get that. It seems like, you know, she is really all in her feelings about the things that are going on in her life. So we kind of got that right off the bat with the dream she had.
So, she's way down with decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dreams tell you a lot. You know,
yeah,
where to move and how to move. So now the question becomes is, what does she do?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when you feel like you're torn between two people. And we already knew that she probably had some, you know, residual feelings left for Ida B, because, you know, it wasn't, if she had things her way, she probably wouldn't have left Ida B. She probably would have stuck with her had Ida been willing to acknowledge her, you know, appropriately as like a girlfriend or even anything beyond just my friend, you know? So I feel like right now, Hattie is just like at a turning point where she feels like, do I still have feelings for Ida B? And what's going on with me and Adina? Because it's kind of like she's stringing her along a little bit right now.
I feel like what I tell you, she's getting ready to hurt Adina's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting ready to hurt her feelings, and I think it has a lot to do with it. And I don't want to jump ahead too much, but I'm just saying something that her father said struck me. You know.
Oh yeah, I mean, we can talk about that because
in the comedy
big part
show.
Of the episode.
Yeah, in the comedy show when he said, you know, listen, abandonment is in our blood, and then we talked about like how many hoes you have, how many, like that is in the nature. He was like, you know, he said, I hope you're not like me, but I think when she said there was a lot of truth when she was talking to the young lady outside on the curb, I think she recognized that she's a lot like her dad. As much as she was like, okay, he's been MIA for 10 years and stuff. I think she has a lot of his traits.
Yes, and I was hoping that this wouldn't cause Hattie to backslide, because it seemed like she had been making, you know, some progress, at least like professionally. She was on the up and up, and Adina had kind of come into her life and helped her, you know, give her some constructive criticism that could help her grow and develop. But it seems like that commentary that her dad had at the show, he was kind of basically, you know, you talked about the abandonment things, but then he was saying about like how in Hollywood, how many people don't make it, you know, go out and get a real job. And then he talked about, you know, having hoes, and, you know, he even acknowledged that his daughter was a better man than him. But I was kind of like, this is not necessarily the kind of commentary that you want from your father, especially when you've invited all your friends there.
Right.
So it's like, it was sobering for her.
He put all that information out on Front Street, and at first I thought it's going to be over, you know, because he really, you know, told the story. But I guess I guess it had to be done his way. And I like the fact that Hattie accepted that, so that showed a lot of growth to me in terms of what we were talking about a little earlier, Tiffany, how it will take time for the two of them to gel, but at least I see that there's an effort being made, and Hattie she seems to be maturing with how to handle her father. And that's a big step.
It is. I thought it was definitely an olive branch, because for him to put himself out there and everything in front of everybody, because everybody was looking like, the looks on their faces were priceless too.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? I thought we were coming to see a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, it was less humor and more of a confessional. Seemed like he was just putting his heart out there.
Yeah, but I kind of thought about it like this: is it nature or nurture? Why are we the way we are? Because one of the reasons we would say she's like that is because he abandoned her, and she's dealing with those issues that come out as insecurities, and maybe that's why it's hard for her to get comfortable in relationships. Because I don't think it matters which relationship she was in. Either one of them, she's both out of her depth. No matter how you look at it. And there's something about her internally that you see her bouncing around from career to career, person to person. And maybe it's that. Maybe it's he just kind of spoke to her flaws, almost like, I gave you my flaws and here. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know how to take it. It wasn't funny, but it was almost like she internalized it.
But I was concerned though at the end, because Marie had asked, like, are you okay? Everybody was asking, are you okay? And Adina went home alone. She had asked Hattie if she wanted to come over. She declined, but ended up going out with the friend, the other coworker. And so I was like, Hattie, don't do this.
She doing what folks do, what Dad says. Like,
it's one of those comments when somebody say, you ain't S and you ain't gonna ever be S. He didn't say that, but he said that.
Right. And I saw Hattie at like a crossroads. If I were to give a metaphor, it would be like, when you're young and you're in your 20s, you get on a speedboat or, one of those jet skis, and you don't care. You're invincible. You just fly up and down the ocean. But then as you get a little older, you want to take a cruise. You don't want to go that fast over the seas. And I think that she's fighting with that, because just like you said, Luanda, she doesn't seem to be real comfortable in any relationship. When you look at the relationship with Ida, I think had she been a little more mature, she would have been able to handle that friend thing a little longer, or perhaps look at it a different way. And then she has Adina, and when you look at it as a package, Adina seems to have everything you would need.
Yeah.
But she can't fit herself in that either. So there's a crossroads that she's going through, and that's kind of really keeping her from really settling down with anybody.
Yeah, I think at that age, sometimes you tend to sabotage relationships and stuff for whatever reason, because of internal stuff and external stuff that you have going on. So I took it like that, because like you said, Adina is dope. So it's not Adina's fault. It's some stuff that Hattie has to do. Because in fact, she was still entertaining the text from Alicia. Alicia was texting her asking, can I pull up, and all this other stuff. And I thought about what LaWanda said last week when she said, maybe she was trying to tread lightly because of the relationship with the manager and stuff. But at the same time, she left her on red too. Like when she asked her and she said, oh, okay, I guess not. So ignoring her too is not helping the case.
Right.
So and then she was being dishonest with Marie. When Ida B called, and Marie was like, who is that? And she was like, oh, this, my mom, my dad is in town. And so she told her the truth about the dad being in town and stuff, but not Ida B. And I really think Marie saw the phone. I think she saw it was Ida B. And she was like, even at the end when she said, are you good? And she was like, yeah, I'm good. And she didn't open up to Marie still. So
right. And I wonder what's up with that, because she just was invited to move back in with Marie. So, she's going to be able to see what's really going on with you. You're going to be in each other's personal space. And so eventually the truth is going to come out. And I feel like Maria is probably going to question their friendship and why you felt like you couldn't bring your issues to me, why you couldn't talk to me about something like that.
Because Maria is judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's very judgmental. I like Maria and stuff, but a week or so ago, when she was talking to Nia, when the three of them were talking, and Marie was being negative about Ben, and Hattie was like, "Dang, negative Nancy." Negative Nancy has entered the building and stuff, and she tends to do that. Like even when she was telling her about meeting with Drew, and I know everybody told her she wasn't ready and stuff, but she was just like, "You're not ready," blah blah blah. Like a lot of her feedback, and I know she means well because she's Hattie's friend. A lot of it comes off as being negative and judgmental. And I think that's why she was like, I don't feel like hearing this right now. And I think that's why she didn't tell her.
Okay, so go ahead, Luanda.
I was about to say something, then I thought about it. I was like, that's not true. It's because she's negative. And then I was like, out of a sense of loyalty, when you have two execs, maybe you don't want to share that information, even though that's your friend. And it's almost like it's different telling Nia because maybe it's more peer-to-peer. It's almost like I don't want to put her business out on the street that much, but I think it really is the fact that she's negative and she doesn't know how she's going to take it.
Let me be the devil's advocate here, and I might get caught up with this. Y'all might beat me up even, but let me be the devil's advocate. When you're in your 20s and you don't know what you want, what's wrong with dating multiple people? Because you got to know what you like. Because if you're one of those type that you say, well, eventually I want to get married. Well, how would you know who that person will be unless you're dating multiple people? Now, that is to say that you shouldn't be shacking up with people and making people think that, your relationship isn't or is something else. But when I look at what Hattie is doing in reality, she's trying to figure out what's best for her. And I don't see anything wrong with that, except that she's causing confusion unnecessarily.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with dating around. I mean, I think you're supposed to do that. But the point is, like, I think when you do stuff like that, you have to make your intentions known. Like, don't have people thinking that it's a full-fledged relationship if you really just playing the field a little bit.
Especially when Adina told her straight up. When she said you want to go there, she was like, "Are you sure you want this?" And she pretty much said, "You better come correct.
Yep.
If you're dealing with me." So she let her know up front. So if somebody tells you like that, you need to come correct. You need to say like, "Okay, I'm not really ready, but I'm dating around, I'm seeing other people." You don't allow them to think that you guys are on the same page when you're not.
And Adina's not the one, and that's what I'm saying because of who she is, because she knows what she wants. She's not the one for Hattie right now.
Right.
And so why? And I know Hattie sees that, but it seems to me Hattie
wants her to be the one though, because she does care about it.
Really,
and she's clingy too. Like you said, the abandonment problems. I think it causes her to jump from relationship to relationship because she craves that attention, maybe that her father or whoever didn't give her, and so that's what's causing her to think she wants these serious relationships when really it's in her nature to be a flirt.
Yeah, and because when I go back to Ida, when they were initially, meeting up just to have sex or whatever, Hattie was funny. She seemed to enjoy that. Somewhere along the line, she felt like she needed to be introduced as something other than what she really was to begin with.
That's about being wanting to be wanted.
Yeah,
it's wanting to be wanted.
Yeah.
But it's also the thing that we keep coming back. When you're 20, you're insecure. You don't know who you are. And for Hattie, you can look at all the friends and they are where they are because of how they grow up. Some of it is about you, but some of it is also about how you grow up. And if you don't have guidance, and I think that's what she lacks, she doesn't have guidance. So she didn't have a father, so she doesn't know what that relationship is like. And for people who are stepping in the creative field, if you don't have parents who are kind of in that can help you navigate it and it's all new to you, you tend to make mistakes. And so because it's so foreign to most people are not going to get that. It's good that she has friends in the industry and that's helpful, but she just doesn't have a lot of guidance on how to navigate life, how to navigate adulthood, how to make those kind of career decisions. And so the mistakes she makes are because she has to learn on her own. And you're going to make more mistakes when you're out there like that.
And unfortunately, Marie is not going to be the one that can help her. Okay.
Marie too busy worried about why, what's his name? Catrells got the baby. You know, she straight up addressed him on that one.
And did you see the energy between them?
Yes.
You see the energy? What was I saying to you a couple episodes, Ron?
But at the same time,
season 3 it's gonna be on and popping.
But I think that Marie and Chuck are gonna find their way back to each other.
I don't know.
No, I think they're gonna be friends. I think they're gonna be friends.
I'm gonna tell you, because Marie is asking these questions. How is it out in the street? And she's beginning to get a little taste of it. And I know we said earlier, I believe, that Marie likes to have everything succinct in order. She likes to know where she's going from one moment to the next. He pretty much had that with Chuck. Of course,
except the sex life.
Except for the sex life. Well, that's a big now.
That's a big thing. That's why I said she's not going. She could go back to Chuck and be a roommate, but if she wants anything else other than that, she needs to move on from Chuck. They need to be friends.
Look, I think with a little sex counseling, Chuck can get it going on. I think
Chuck is, Chuck is, he's gonna be a gay man. I think he's gonna live his truth. So that's what I'm saying. That she should not go back to him.
But he's got well.
Right. It's more than just the sex.
And I was thinking, like, professionally for her, I thought it was interesting that she would confront him like that about a personal matter, in the workplace.
Yes. She was involved, wasn't she? I was like,
yeah, I was like, you and your feelings, huh, Marie?
She wasn't her feelings.
But I'm kind of with her. If it's nothing, you never have to lie. You never have to lie to begin with, but really, if it's nothing, you really don't,
And
I don't know if I see that she really is feeling Catrell that way. I think it's more of a.
What did I say? It was physical. I said we said that because it's physical.
Okay,
but she was filling him out though. She was like, so I heard you got the fact that he didn't shut her down, he was still like, I'm here if you need me.
He sure did. And the way he was looking her up and down, he's.
Oh, well, I know what he wants. I know what he wants. But I'm saying with her, to me, she wants the same thing, but she's nosy. She wants to get in your business. And I think that might be a cutoff for Catrell. I don't know. But I know what he wants. And
I think she was filling him out to see, like, is this a serious thing? Like, is your baby mama still with you?
Right. She's trying to figure out, like, are you hooked up? The thing is this, she's been involved for a few years. And when you've been involved for a while and you go back into the dating scene, it could be awkward, like trying to figure out how to navigate being single again and stuff. So she probably didn't know how to really communicate that. But I agree with Tiara. She was trying to fill him out to see what his status was with baby mom. Like, is he hooked up? Is he single? But she wants the same thing he does, trust.
Yeah, that's gonna be on and popping next season.
Yeah, it's going down.
And you know what she's going to do afterwards. Once she gets it, unless, of course, he puts it on her like that. But once she gets it, she's going to start, reminiscing and thinking back. Is this right? Am I doing the right thing? I can see it coming now. I just don't think Catrell is for her. I don't.
She doesn't know if he's for her. I don't even know if she's looking at him as a long-term option. I told you, I think that she's looking at him as an option.
That doesn't, I guess I just don't get that vibe from from Marie. I don't get that vibe like she's just in it to quit it at any point in time. I don't get that vibe from her.
I'm not saying just to quit at any point in time, but I'm just saying, like, when you're coming out of a relationship, you don't always want to like jump right back into a full-scale relationship too. You need time. So sometimes it's the in-between time. In-between time when you're dating and you're just kind of having fun. That's what I think.
But she's so fresh out of her relationship. And this wasn't just a relationship, it was a marriage. She's just so fresh out of it I just don't think she should be messing with Catrell right now either.
I don't think she's trying to really date him. I just think she's trying to get some.
Yeah.
I told you that.
It never plays that way though. You know, it always comes down with somebody getting hurt.
Well, I mean, all the time. Not all the time. Not if there's like ground rules for some. Like some women can do that. Not all women. It's not in our nature to do that. Usually but some women can do that if there are ground rules and stuff. I mean,
yeah.
I think she's also going to be comparing people to Chuck, because not just him, it was a lifestyle. It was a relationship, it was a lifestyle, it was a partnership. So it probably won't be control. They may hook up or whatever, but it's going to be somebody else new next year.
I think so too. That's what I'm saying. I'm only talking about him as a hookup. I'm not talking about him as a suitor or a partner. I'm talking about a hookup.
Well, I mean, I guess that estrogen is flowing.
Oh, that estrogen.
Look at this.
Wow. Wow.
Look, I didn't experience women like that. So,
well, it seems like the one person on the show that has the relationship on the up and up is Nia.
Yes.
To work out well for her. I mean, Ida B offered her the lead role in a new show, and then Tristan came back around, making sure that he showed that he's interested. Like, he's really trying to be serious with her. And I love how she responded to him. And, he was like giving her the kiss or whatever. And she was like, hold up, the kiss don't mean that you back in. You still got to work for this.
I just gave exactly. I was like, go Nia. Go Nia. And I was happy her sister said at the end too, when he was like, I'll take you home. And she's like, oh no, I'll get a car. I'm like, thank you, sis. Knowing when to say, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah, Vanessa, see, that's another story too. That's a whole nother story. I like that. I did, I like the fact that she knew when to quit, to step back. But she got issues of her own. And we got to take care of that home thing.
She need to go home and work on her marriage.
She need to go home and work on her.
She's trying to hide out.
either have it or not have it. But you got to do something with that marriage, because you're just letting it hang right now.
Well, she said she was trying to go to counseling, and he told me he don't want to go, which is,
that's typical.
A lot of times in our community, though, the Black community, a lot of brothers and Black folks don't always want to go to therapy and stuff. But I think it's
because
a good
we
thing.
Equate that with being crazy, and and it's sad, but it's therapy is a good thing. But
it is a good thing.
But I don't know. Like I said earlier, I just don't think leaving when the reason that they can't have kids is because of him, and then you leave, that puts another mark on it, because he's now got to deal with the fact that he can't have the kids. You want kids, I can't give you kids, and you leave, and so that's double indemnity for him. He's got to deal with that issue and the fact that you left.
But I guess I was happy to see Nia's sister not be a hater, because even though she's going through her issues, she was still, cheering Nia on the fact that she had found a good guy. She wasn't like trying to be a blocker, block out. On the time that they were about to spend together.
Yeah, I saw that look she gave Nia when they were kissing. And she kind of looked like.
She happy. I was happy. I like Tristan. I like Tristan for her. So I was like, go Nia.
Yeah. You about to say something, Luanda?
Yeah, I was saying I want to go back to to Ida B offering her the script. Is that the same script that Hattie, the one that Hattie disclosed to Nia?
I think it is.
She was really mad at her. So I think there's some strings. She said there were no strings attached, but there's some strings attached.
Oh, I think it was total manipulation. I think there was just a way to get back in with Hattie and stuff too. It was manipulative, and
because she said, "Send Hattie my best."
Exactly.
Yes, there's total manipulation, and I was wondering when she took it. Like, I'm happy for Nia. However, I'm wondering if how is Hattie gonna feel about that? Is she gonna feel away like she only doing this because, or is she gonna be like, okay, go Nia, shoot your shot? So I'm gonna be interested to see how Hattie plays this.
So let me ask, what would you do?
What, as Nia?
Yeah. What would you do? You got a girlfriend that, if you were all in the same situation that Nia is, what would you do?
She's already accepted. I mean,
She's already, yeah, she's
and that's what I'm
accepted it.
saying. Sometimes when you mix in your personal life with your career, because everybody in that Hollywood circle is kind of like everybody knows everybody, so it's hard to keep it separated. But it's a career opportunity, and you have
Yes.
this big executive that's putting you as the lead in the show. Those opportunities don't come by, that often, especially when you're up and coming. And so you're trying to take what you can get. And she's going from having a few lines here and there, playing this kind of stereotypical character, and then she's going to go off and be a lead in a show that's much different. And she also set the stipulations that, like, you can't lie to me. And so that was like a condition of her accepting the role. But the thing with Hattie, she's going to have to understand just that, like, this is a career move. This is not anything personal against you or the friendship. Like, this is a huge opportunity for me. And if you can't be happy, like, regardless of who it came from, then I'm sorry for you.
I just think Ida is up to no good. And
she is.
I don't.
Is she gonna pull strings? That's what I'm wondering. Like, just the same way she ended her role on that other show. If something happens as the lead, is she gonna be petty again and cancel the show or whatever? Like, she already showed that she's capable of being manipulative like that.
Yeah,
but I guess once you've been a lead in a show before, it shows your capability. So even if Ida does pull the rug from under her,
another show,
she can still get on another show, and she can put that on her resume that she has been cast as the lead before.
Oh yeah, and I think she expects Nia to go back to Hattie and say, "Oh, Ida just did a wonderful thing for me. She, gave me the lead role, and Ida's okay, and she's a nice person."
That's why she did it.
Exactly right.
That's why she did it.
Exactly right.
The manipulation.
Yeah, because you can see how she was watching Nia when she was celebrating with her sister. The way she was watching, I was like, look at her.
That was some sinister looks.
I was like, she is.
But the bigger thing here is, if Ida B really wants Hattie that badly, if she wants her back so bad, then you need to address some issues with yourself, because she's not going to be willing to come back with you and still be, hiding in secrecy
in the dark, right?
Yeah, so you're going to have to really address who you are and your sexuality, whether that's being a lesbian woman or a bisexual woman. Like, you need to figure out who you are and your sexuality and how you're going to carry yourself in public once that does come out, because
exactly,
you can't continue as things are. And she's really just going about it, doing everything she can to try to get Hattie's attention. But when you get it, what you gonna do?
Exactly. You still want her to be your dirty little secret.
But when I was, in that dating line, I dated somebody that was much younger than I was. And I know the feeling that you have. It's like you're always asking yourself, am I doing the right thing? Is she going to be around? She's much younger. What's going to happen when I get older? Is she going to want me still? And you just have these, and they come from nowhere, but you just have these feelings and you really don't know how to handle them. So what you do is you start arm's length. You put the person at arm's length. You don't really allow them to come but so far, because you got to deal with those, that mental issue that you have about this relationship, because May-December relationships typically don't work. So, when you're an older person like that, you have a career, I see where she's coming from, but I do agree she's going to have to deal with herself before she thinks that she can go roll up to Hattie and do anything, because there's a significant age difference between the two.
Yeah, and now that we have the context of the relationship of Hattie and her father, I can imagine that when she was with Ida B, she probably felt abandoned in the same way that her father did, kind of like just popping in and taking me, coming in my life when you want to.
Right.
And I felt like now that we see her father doing that, I can see why she would not be happy with that situation.
Right.
It's just kind of like you pick and choose when you want to be around me.
And not only that relationship was reminiscent of the woman she dealt with in the first season. Remember, because that woman was living as a straight woman, and you would see her out on dates with men, but she was like secretly meeting up with Hattie too. So it's the series started off like that. So she didn't want to be in another relationship like that.
And I think that's why this thing with Adina is so it's rough because she actually is like a great fit for Hattie if Hattie will open her eyes and realize that she's the first person that is really loving her as she is.
Yes.
And so it's like Hattie just likes toxicity.
Well, when you're young, you don't, and you come from, put it like this, if you're young and you're not affirmed in a way that gives you that kind of confidence, you have to build it, but you're gonna hurt a lot of people trying to build that confidence. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes trying to build that confidence. And that's what we get to see, like how important it is as a child to have that kind of confidence and affirmation so that you grow up knowing who you are. You don't get grown and then have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Right.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about or any predictions you want to throw out for maybe next season?
Oh no, I like Hattie. I like Hattie. I saw
I like Hattie too.
she called her a hot A mess, and I was like, no, don't say that. She's just trying to figure it out.
The 20s. Yeah.
I think her positive characteristics makes her redeemable. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean?
She's definitely redeemable. I don't think she's intentionally trying to hurt anyone. And that's the thing about Hattie. I think she's relatable, especially in your 20s. You are trying to figure it out. And even though this situation, like the way it ended, let me know that she getting ready to mess over Adina.
Yes.
She rolled out with another chick. And the chick asked her, do you smoke? Oh, yeah. So she's about to mess over Adina. But I don't think,
but she's about to mess over herself. And that's the thing, to figure out how to start making decisions where you win, that you don't just self-sabotage and blow up your own life.
Yes.
Which is why she has to feel okay about herself. And she has to feel okay that it's okay for me to date around and see what I want. So it starts definitely with her. And then letting other people know around her, hey, we can hang out, we can get together, we can do whatever, but until I figure me out, I gotta just do me. Because that
makes sense.
That is Hattie. If Hattie sees something that she likes, she don't have a problem going for it. That's just who she is right now. And you just gotta let everybody know that's where you are. It's okay to be there, and take it from that point.
Give people the option to say, I want to play or I don't.
Exactly. Good point. Because Adina told her straight up what she was down for, and what was really interesting was that with the father, when he came and talked to them and stuff, Hattie didn't even introduce Adina. Did y'all notice that?
Well, she talked about her when they had met up at the park last week.
She did. But she didn't say this is Adina. He said, "Oh, you must be Adina." So yes, she had talked about him, but she was standing right there.
Look what she's doing. But look what Hattie's doing the same thing that Ida did to her. So she's doing exactly the same thing.
But I don't think it was intentional. I think she was trying to digest what had just happened.
Yeah, it was awkward for her. So I do get that.
Yeah, but the thing that kind of put me off was that, the father seems like he's trying to make amends, and maybe he invited her to get that off of his chest, but they didn't really leave the venue with any more resolution than they came in with. It was kind of like, see you when I see you again.
Well, he said, see you around. So I think he was fishing to see if she would be open to spending time and stuff. So I saw it as being a little more hopeful. I know they didn't say anything concrete, but when he said see you around, I thought that she was, and she just said, yeah, I thought that they may try.
But given his track record, if I was Hattie, I wouldn't take that as, oh, we gonna meet up or we gonna try to establish a relationship. I would take that as, okay, here you go, popping out of my life again for another 10 years. Because he doesn't have a good track record. And I was hoping that he would say something more along the lines of, can we keep in touch? Can I still message you or anything? But it was just not what I was hoping for.
Did you get the idea like maybe something was wrong? I didn't know if they were going to say he was sick or something, because that what was causing this self-reflection? All of a sudden you want to have a relationship with her and you're starting to kind of analyze that relationship and really think about it. I was wondering if that what was next, if that was coming.
I think
that's a good point. If it's that, or if it's like guilt from not being there.
Well, I think
that's a good point.
that's one reason. That's where you got two good reasons. But I think also a third reason is as you get older, you know, you start really understanding, do I really want to be by myself? You know, you know, you start looking back on your family and you start wanting to mend these bridges that you blew up along the way. And I think that's where he's coming from. That, you know, Tiffany, you and I spoke offline. I was looking for somebody to give somebody a hug at least. It doesn't have to be a, hey, I'm back home hug. But I mean, you know, if I were Dwayne, I would have grabbed Hattie and said, hey, look, you know, see you when I see you, I love you. And jet, you know.
But I think she definitely got something out of it because she told the young lady, like, like after the show was done, she was basically saying, like, I'm just realizing that my father is just a man trying to figure things out in this world.
Exactly.
And so I think that as children, you have like this high standard for your parents. You think they're, you know, a superhero, and you have like the best possible perception of them. And then when they let you down, you realize that they're only human. And as you become an adult yourself, you understand, like, okay, he's a human, he's going to succumb to mistakes and things like that. And I think she's realizing that he's not perfect, and maybe she was being too hard on him. Now that she's an adult and she realizes how adult life is.
Well, that takes place just as soon as your children hit 15 to 20. You know, they start looking at your frailties and say, oh, he's not Superman. So they start treating you differently, you know, regardless. That's just what kids do. And then as they get older, they realize what they have in their senior, you know, parents. But I don't know, I just thought, you know, and I said the same thing, Tiara, that I like the fact that Hattie was mature enough to see her father in a different light. And I said that to Tiffany offline. I did enjoy that about Hattie. And that lets me know that Hattie is maturing. So maybe she's coming into her own, and it's like anything else. She just has to go through those bumps and bruises to get there, you know, because that right there was a big eye opener for me, that she could appreciate her dad like that.
I agree. I think next season we're gonna see Hattie hit a few more of those speed bumps you talking about. She definitely gonna hit a couple of them. Yeah. But I think that as she goes through these different things in her life, each obstacle that she's experiencing is going to help her towards her growth. So I think we see a more mature, more self-reflective Hattie next season. And I think she'll probably move with a lot more intention. You know, I think she's on a journey to better herself, and career-wise, personal life, everything, all the way around. And I hope that it comes off in her friendships too, because her and Marie definitely got some things to address, especially now that they back living together. I agree. I enjoyed this entire season. Congratulations to everyone involved. You guys were phenomenal. Looking forward to season 3. Can't wait to hear about that.
Yeah.
And as I understand it, there might be something, you know, in the works for our spotters out there. We'll keep you posted on the details. Just know we've been scheming. We up to something. So just look out for some announcements soon. Yeah, I don't want to give nothing away yet.
Well, that's good. Hey, we got great spotters, and you know, we keep plugging it. So definitely subscribe, definitely hit the notification button, because, you know, and when you subscribe, understand that you're helping our channel. It's not just subscribing, you know, you're helping us. So we love you all, because you all love us back. So what can I say?
Yeah. Yes. So make sure you check out some of the other content on our page as well. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. We're on all of those platforms. And like Ron said, follow us here, YouTube. Hit the like button right now if you haven't already, and drop down in the comments as well and let us know what you thought about the 20s season finale and what you expect for next season. Guys, got any last words?
Nope. You touched on it.
Okay, well, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.
Night.
Bye.
Your heart